So go up to Tennessee. They have like quarter comics.
We have quarter bins and methamphetamines. You do some meth, you can look for comics for a long time.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
For more than a century, comic books, television, and movies have existed. Each separate, broken, with their gatekeepers.
No!
Then, something happened that brought all media together. The internet brings comic fans around the world into one comic community. Put your hands together, comic fan. Comics are for everyone. It's 10 p.m. Eastern, live Comic Book Wednesday, a weekly YouTube show about comic books with Lady Fantastic. Comics on the Line.
Get your hands up!
Miracle Man. Special guest appearances by Ace. And your host, Not Near Mint. Welcome to Not Near Mint.
Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of Not Near Mint. It is July the 7th, 2021, and we have a very special guest tonight. His name is Phillip Maira. I hope I am pronouncing that right. I am waiting for my mouse to start working again so I can start bringing everybody into the rest of the show. It is a new Comic Book Wednesday, and I can't wait to start talking about this subject as soon as I can bring in the rest of everybody. Sure, you can hear me. How about y'all start talking for a second until I can figure out this mouse situation?
Hello.
This dude bought $150 mouse, and I'm telling you, every time he uses it, it's dead. Meanwhile, I got the one that got thrown away with a desktop computer, and this shit has lasted me 10
this
years.
Is funny. And I know it works. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I can bring in everybody else. Hey, everybody.
Yay! There's my face. What up?
Hello.
Everybody, welcome to the show. Phillip, thank you so much for coming tonight.
Thanks for having me. This is gonna be great.
So I just read volumes 1 and 2, and the first question I have is, who hurt you?
Why do you say that?
Because it's written with love and forgiveness, and I know you look young, but a lot of the stories seem to appeal to those that it appears that you are like 80 years old, lived a life of horror and tragedy, and really nobody writes stories filled with living a life filled with tragedies and delights and elegantly mundane. I mean, where did you discover your voice to write stories like this?
I want to first say this is not nonfiction work, so this is all fiction work. But I don't know. I just always was the type of kid that would read, and I stuck with a lot of like short stories. And going to high school, I'm very much a techie type of guy. So I didn't go through the usual cliches of sci-fi or fantasy. I read a lot of day-to-day type of nonfiction, or like a lot of slice of life type of stories. Like I read The Beats, and I would read a lot of Chuck Palahniuk and Bret Easton Ellis. And when I went to college, I read. Then I started getting to Vonnegut and Steinbeck. I worked at the library, so I just kept reading. I just had a huge number of books that I didn't have access to or didn't even know about. A couple of times I was walking through the library and I would just randomly pick up a book and read on my shift. I didn't finish on my shift. I'm not that smart. But yeah, so I just would read stories. And then I came to comics fairly late. I came to comics when I was 20 years old. A buddy of mine that I haven't seen since high school, I saw him one time over the summer at the beach, and he had a copy of Walking Dead Volume 1. And this was a couple months right before the TV show started up. So I wasn't riding any coattails. Or
What year did the TV show come out?
2010, I'd like to
2010.
say.
Yep.
So so he had it, and he let me borrow Sin City back in high school. And that was another interesting thing. But at that time, I knew the movie first. But when I read Walking Dead, it just was. It was basically similar to the stories that I was reading in prose, but there was that supernatural element that was very much secondary. It was mostly the people and how they were dealing with their own personal life prior to the event of all the zombies, and then currently what they're dealing with the post-apocalyptic world. And that really interested me. And then, the zombies, from my recollection, those first 6 issues, the zombies don't really appear that much. They might be dead, but they're obviously dead. They might just be not moving and just drawn in the background, but they're not really much of a threat. More the threat is figuring out what to do next and who's, as the humans, who you can trust and who you can't trust. And that always just interests me. So from there, I just took a huge deep dive into the Vertigos. So I typed in, college kids. So I'm like, 10 best graphic novels. And so I would look, and a lot of the times, like I said, there would be Vertigo was huge, Image was huge. So I kind of bypassed all the superhero and capes. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them, but I just never got into them.
So you got on board with all the Transmetropolitan, with Preacher, with Sandman,
Animal
Swamp Thing
Man.
by Moore, Animal Man by Morrison.
Yeah. Why the Last Man was a big thing for me, because I was at York's age at the time. I was 20. I was turning around 21 when I got that. I think York's 22 or 23 in the beginning of that story. And it was just a huge way you can do. Speaking about going from one post-apocalyptic story like The Walking Dead to Why the Last Man, that's even more what I was looking for, where it is very much people talking in rooms, dealing with problems, internal drama and strife, survival, and then everything else is, in that story, everything else is just the people. The main cataclysmic event already happened prior, or in the first couple of pages. But one thing that I took from Why the Last Man that I always try to achieve is, I feel that throughout that series you can pick up any of the trades or the issues and kind of open up to a random page and know what's happening. I always felt that book, each individual page was almost like a self-contained story. And each page was its own self-contained thing, and that built onto other things. And that's why I tried pushing with my stuff, where I can hope that anyone can pick up a page at random and kind of get the good feel of like, all right, kind of understand where these characters are going. I might not know where they've been, but I kind of understand where their decisions are and what they're doing right now in the scenario. Yeah, that's where I come from, like a storytelling part. But as far as like why my stories are a little sad, you brought up, Rob. Yeah, so like the first story deals. Spoiler alert, but the first story deals with a woman going back to her parents' house for Christmas with their 2 adopted daughters, and the woman doesn't know where her husband is. She's chatting with her father and doesn't know where her husband is, and there there's an emotional resolution to the story, but really it's more of a reflection of the choices that her and her husband made throughout the years and their lives together. And then, like I said, there's not a perfect resolution, but there's an emotional resolution, which is what I always try to achieve for my stories. Like the next story has to deal with someone that's dealing with suicidal thoughts because he can't beat cancer. And then another reflection upon that, a man reflecting upon his life and the decisions he's made. I know it's a lot of it. I just write the stories and then I work backwards, and then I find the theme after I'm done with the story. And it always just seems like a lot of my stories, yes, Clenching Fog's the story of the man dealing with suicide. But oh no, Clenching Fog's a different one.
Now, this one was from volume 2, and this was the one that really struck me because this was a woman, and when you're, let's see if I can get this a little closer here and blow that out. So this one story here had this woman that at the outset, you think that it's a fantasy, and as you start gradually going down the line, this is all done in her mind. And then all of a sudden, after you get through this beautiful sequence, she starts to notice herself as a young woman. And right as you get down here, liar, fraud, imposter, sham, she's seeing herself as how she sees herself. And all of a sudden, she gets woken back up into the real world by her own son, saying, "Mom, are you okay?" And this is when it finally strikes me that this woman is going through dementia and that she's trying to just get some kind of grip of hold of some kind of reality. But all she wants is to return the voice to her love. And as she's presenting this box, it's a box filled with letter after letter after letter after letter. And it's sad and it's beautiful, and it shows a maturity that you usually just don't see in comic books, or at least that I usually don't see on a regular basis. And for me, I pick up a shit ton of Marvel and DC, as you might be able to notice here. But overall, I've been noticing this last year, especially since the pandemic, I've been picking up more and more of these independents, because that's where I'm seeing a true voice for writers and artists these days. And when I picked up this issue earlier this evening, I was not expecting anything. I try not to have expectations. And that first story is like, okay, I don't think I was ready to start getting a little teary-eyed. And then the next issue, where this man is in a bathtub going through cancer, things are starting to get better, and then not so much. And it's life being cyclical, that no matter how shitty things might be, that they get better and they get shitty again, because nothing's permanent. It's impermanence than anything. And really, how old are you?
32.
Only 32.
So I wrote a lot of these in my late 20s.
I'm almost 10 years older than you, and you feel like it feels like you are somebody that have been doing this for 20, 30, 40 years, and you understand the human experience.
Thank you.
It's
As
not
mom,
every day that somebody says you seem way old, and the response is thank you. But that was
well, he's an old soul. That's why.
there you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
Oh, go ahead. Were you going to say something, Miracle Man?
Oh no, I was gonna say I have the Kickstarter up here if you wanted to show everybody
Yeah, throw it on
so they
up.
can see the
Yeah.
project. Here we go. And of course I boomered it. There we are. And there we are.
Hey, here we go. All right, here it is.
Oh no.
Cool.
Did your mouse break too now?
No, mine's working. So yeah, just wanted to show everybody some of the art in the book here. Oh, and of course we went to there. There we go. Which I like this cover right here, but this one right here, it's a very simple kind of cartoonist design, but it immediately made me think of some of the Mobius stuff. Design wise.
That's a big compliment. So, all the stories that how I create my stories is first I'll write the script, and then from the script, then I go find artists. So a lot of the artists all the artists I found were all from just either Twitter or Instagram. But the funny thing is the two covers are written by friends that I've known since high school. So the first one is illustrated by my friend Kyle Coben, who's an art teacher here in Chicago, in the Chicago public school system. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you can see mine, but yeah. So the physical copy is in my hand right now, and it's a wraparound cover. So I try to have all wraparound covers, so it's not just something cliche on the back or an advertisement. So
very cool.
Like this little symbol up here coincides with the last story within the book. And as far as the other cover for Crackle Volume 2, I mean, my friend would obviously love Mobius comparison, but the idea is that you read the cover, and then when you get to the back, it's an opposite mirror image of the lake. So when you read it all as one image,
that's great.
It's the shadow monster.
Oh, that's very cool.
Wrap around.
Yeah.
Gotta love that.
So Crackle Volume 3 is actually in production, and then the cover's already done. And that's going to be another lovely wraparound cover.
This is from volume 1 here. This is from the very first story of the woman just coming home to visit her father. And straight from the outset, you don't see this is what the woman's life was like all the way up until this point. No, you just drop her right in the middle of the storyline. You have to figure out the story from here. And it's not that it has to be very complicated, but it starts hitting a very emotional level right away. You have a woman that that you're talking to her father, and it's just the small little nuances, the little details of being out in the snow and picking gravel out of your boot. And the father just looking down, not quite looking at her, looking down and away. The not being able to look at each other in the eye, the shuffling, it feels real. It feels emotional. And here we have part of the old history of what it was like before, just memories.
Yeah. And then they had that photo collage memory. If you want to scroll back to that, this was a key integral part. So like I said, one of my major themes is time and how time shapes us, and we grow and we learn, and we make choices and mistakes. So I want to do almost like a photo collage to give the reader more of an impression. Like this one page feels like 3 pages. Like in your mind, a week from now, you might think of it as more than this, but it is just one single page because you're just glimpsing a whole life basically, and your whole Susan, the main character, is glimpsing her whole marriage and think about her and Rob and how they started and the high points, the low points, the not being able to conceive and eventually adopting and just every little thing, but also like Rob's alcoholism and how it's affected their family. and then nothing really needs to be said, and so everything ends in silence. And even if you go back up a little bit, the page before that, the characters are talking. The characters have balloons, but they don't. There's no words in them because the words don't matter. But I just wanted to show that they are speaking, but it's just not hitting Susan. Everything else is way behind her. Hence why her eyes are not visibly shown in that page too. But yeah, and this also goes to Hannah Wenzel from Germany. As you were saying, like the way that the characters are portrayed of conversating, that they're talking, but they're not really talking to each other. They're not making eye contact. The body language is very not two people talking type of thing, or not two people talking that or want to listen to each other. Especially Susan, who's in the beginning of the story is avoiding the question of what happened to her husband, Rob. So, like I said, that's Hannah's amazing skills as an artist with body language. I mean, all that stuff was in the script, but it's one thing for me to write a sentence describing that, and an artist to actually do that, and for for a reader unknown to the script and story to pick up on that body language. And the fun thing about that is that story we just saw, the black and white one, Hannah and I are working on the sequel to that story, because it ends as you can see kind of as a cliffhanger, and it's Christmas Eve, and so I wrote the story what happens on Christmas Day the next morning, and so she's working on that. She's working on that right now, and I gave her a 9-page
Volume 3.
it is for Volume 3. I gave her a 9-page script, and she's like, it's going to be 17 pages. I'm like, okay. Because I might put a little bit too much detail in things sometimes.
Hey, no one ever condemned Alan Moore for having too much detail in a page. Okay, it's every artist he's ever worked with. But it made for all the better of a story.
Yeah.
So what kind of other comic book influences, rather better question, are you reading any comic books now? Or is there anything that you're looking at now and just going, wow, that kind of blows me away as a writer?
Yeah. I mean, I still got a monthly pull list. I've been really liking, I usually pick up whatever Maxwell Prince is doing, W.S. Maxwell Prince. So he's done the Ice Cream Man series. He's wrapping up Ha Ha Ha, which is a mini series. I picked him up randomly because he did 1 week in the library, which had a Fraser. Is it Fraser Irving Fraser? I forget how you pronounce it, which way it is. So we had an amazing artist do the cover. And I was like, oh, this is cool. So I read it, and it was very, very much my type of storytelling, where it takes place. It's 1 week in the library, and it's supposed to be one day, but it's basically just a series of vignettes. I've been picking up. Let's see. I was picking up. I can't remember what it is. Is it Greg? No, I can't remember. What was the big Jeff Lemire book that just ended?
Oh, Family Tree.
Oh.
No, I'm picking up Family Tree. I haven't read it though. I read it the first
Oh,
week.
so good.
Is it good? I keep buying it to support it, but I haven't read it.
It's so good. Read it. I'm telling you, one of my favorites. I became a Jeff Lemire fan after reading that.
Nice. Why can't I remember? What's the horror one they did with Andrew Sorrentino?
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Oh, God. I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't think of the name either.
I want to say Gravity Falls, but that's a TV show.
I love that show.
Gideon Falls. It's Gideon Falls.
Gideon Falls. Okay.
Gideon Falls.
That's on my read list.
Yeah, that was really good. I mean, I was trade waiting that, but as soon as I got the trade, I would just devour it. And then I've been picking up whatever Ram V does. I picked up Layla Starr, but I haven't began it yet. The Many Deaths of Layla Starr. I think Boom does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Reading
hard.
trade.
I mean, I've been trade waiting a lot of stuff, it sucks that maybe I just don't talk. I don't discuss enough with my LCS, but there isn't like a monthly comic book other than Ice Cream Man, because Ice Cream Man's kind of formatted such. That's like a monthly book. Like I used to be addicted to Morning Glories when it came out, because that felt very like every issue built up upon things, and sometimes each issue would just be self-contained. And then
after reading Morning Glories, it was weird. It felt like every time he'd answer one question, here's 10 more questions. We'll wrap that up in 10 more issues. Oh, we answered that question. Here's another 10 questions. Like, I don't know what's going on anymore.
I like that, though. I mean,
I figured he would be a great writer to do X-Men. Instead, Marvel goes, no, we're putting him on Spider-Man. Wait, what?
Yeah, and then Morning Glories stopped pretty much.
Yeah, right in the middle of the run.
Yeah. But yeah, and then when Matt Kint was doing Mind Management, that was another book that even Matt was saying that it's clearly like he wants it to be monthly, or like the format that he's aiming for is monthly. He's not building to a trade like a lot of people are doing. But yeah, I mean, do you guys have any suggestions? What were the big monthly books everyone's picking up?
Miracle Man, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
good.
here.
Just making sure. We also have a question from Ace here afterwards, but go ahead.
Oh, what? I didn't have a question for him.
No, he asked you a question.
Yeah.
Oh, what's a good monthly series? Well, a lot of the books that I'm reading right now are, and honestly, I think the big two need to lean into this a little bit more. But all the best books I'm reading right now are kind of minis. If you're talking about one of the smaller press books, AWA just had a book out that came out today. First issue was Fight Girls, which was it's Frank Cho. So
I love AWA.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's great. It was probably the best book I read today. As a regular ongoing, I don't know how long this is going, but second issue just came out, A Nice House on the Lake. That's a good horror book.
I think that's just going to be a 12-issue mini.
There you go. I
need to get that issue 1.
I'm picking up mainstays, Justice League and Avengers, but everybody has an ebb and a tide. An ebb and flow and up and down. I think they're both a little bit on a downward arc at the moment. Nothing that's really driving me to read it every month.
Come on, Avengers.
If you want to talk about something,
Daredevil,
Savage Avengers.
But most of the Marvel and DC titles feel like they've been kind of cresting. Batman feels like they're trying to work with something, but Tynion's a great writer, and they're finally allowing him to stretch his muscles. X-Men is just all over the place. I can't recommend that to anybody at all.
No,
at the moment, yeah.
I literally dropped most of X-Men, so
we were joking about that this morning. X-Men number 1 just came out again today, and it's on volume 5 now.
5, yeah.
So I can't recommend any of those. But when it comes to the independent stuff, it's we just had them on.
This is the one Marvel.
Yeah.
Marvel that I bought today. That was like a current run. American.
Oh, that's a great. I read the first issue. That's really good.
Yeah.
They're actually
you're talking about
Origin.
Huh?
Go ahead.
I didn't say shit, but I also got this facsimile. This is the closest I'll get to
Yeah, you and me both.
Same here, unless I sell a couple cars.
I really like that they do the very almost the exact likeness of it, because it is cool for people like me who, I just don't have that expendable income to get something like that, but to be able to have that exact comic, it's really great, No,
I agree. I rebelled against facsimiles too. I eventually got.
They look really close.
Yeah. Stop! Get out of my face.
I know.
But going back to books that we're reading, just to piggyback what everybody's talking about in terms of indies. Indies are there's so many good indies. I started off a Marvel fan coming into the comic book world. Yeah, that's been good too. Like some of my favorite indie right now is like you talking about Mad Cave. Like I love like Nottingham. I don't know if you've read that. Nottingham has been like my favorite from them. And then like I don't know anybody's talking. What was that?
I haven't like had access to it. Like my LCS has never had it. I mean, I would have to get it like online or something, you know?
Yeah. I didn't even know it was that popular. That first issue just looked great, and I was like, I'm gonna read this. And the story was like really good.
Mini Deaths of Layla Starr. Yeah.
He has every issue. He just needs to read it. Stray Dogs. We just had the creators on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's been so great. I started to read issue 5. Don't say nothing.
Aliens. The whole time it was aliens. Can you believe it?
I knew it. I seen it coming.
And of course, everyone's always raving about something's killing the children, but there's no way I'm paying $600 on a first print issue that just came out 2 years ago.
Yeah, I had the trades, and then I hopped on after issue. What was it 14? So I just it's all my.
Now that we've recommended 40 books to him.
I also have here from Ace.
You see what happens?
Yeah, we get derailed all the time here. So Ace has a question. Unfortunately, they have people blowing fireworks up in their backyard. So here's the question. The art is very diverse, showing different races, sexualities, cultures, disability, and ages. Was that your intent from the start, or did the artists have freedom to work their own narratives into the art? And
that's a very good question. So, yes, it was intentional. So when I write the script, I don't have. How describe this? In the script, I put that the artist has freedom to do either race, height, weight, like any type of physical appearance. Sometimes age, honestly, sometimes sex of characters, like gender. I leave that up to the artist's interpretation, because a lot of times it's just people interacting with each other and trying to learn how to be better people. That's a lot of my stories is learning about forgiveness and trying to be better, or people making a decision and living by that decision, and if it's good or bad, but they still have to live by their decision. So, but yeah, as far as the diversity of the characters, I leave that up to the artist, and then from the character sketches, then we'll change some things. A lot of times it's just names and stuff. But yeah.
Oh, Home is so good.
So about how long does it take to put together a story from because you're talking to people from around the world, so it's probably a lot easier than going, okay, you send me a letter, I send you a letter. You have Dropbox, you have email, you have text. How long does it take to go from inception of an idea to, okay, we have the finished product, we're ready to go to print?
Yeah, the process of productions takes actually a lot of time per small, 5, 8-page story. So it'll take me roughly 3 months to write a script from my initial idea and scribblings. Let's see. I have my handy notebook here. Which one is this? So I don't think you can see this, but this it says like Ghost Girl, and there's like a whole bunch of words and stuff, and protagonist, and the word ghost, and just a bunch of lines and words everywhere. So yeah, and then this. So then this amount of scribbles, and I try to guess how many pages this story is, and themes. This is a story called Memo that is in volume 3, and the story's already complete. And then from that rambling, I don't know why I write backwards. So like here's the page, and I write basically left to right. And then I just try to do almost like a bullet page breakdown. Like this occurs in each page. And as mentioned, like the thing that I picked up from Why the Last Man is each page should feel complete. Like like when you get to that final panel, it should resonate with the beginning of the panel, and then those and everything in between should resonate with the whole page prior, before it, and then the page after it. It's a lot of inner workings and just chopping up and making sure everything is as lean as possible. And after 3.5 months working on the script, then I try to find an artist that fits kind of what's in my head, or if it's for an artist that I've already previously worked with, then I give that artist, I'd be like, hey, I created this, what's your schedule looking like? But I've been super fortunate. I've been using, which hashtag is it? I've been using Creator Advisor is a great group. I know they're on Twitter. I'm not sure if they're on Instagram big. I think Stephanie Cook runs Creator Advisor, or at least the handle. And they boost indie people all the time. So I posted a couple of times within this last year of, hey, I have the script. Here's the script. It's paid work. This is the theme. Please read it and respond with sequentials. That way, the potential artists that might be interested in the project know that they're going to get paid, which is a big thing. You always have to pay your artist and your creative team, but also B, here's the script. It's, this project's ready, dependent upon your schedule as well. But here's, like, you have an idea, so you're not just going in cold, or the artist would go in cold and not really know what they're submitting their portfolio to, or showing at least their sequentials. So yeah, so that's already like a third of a fourth of the year through by the time we're done with that portion. And then going back and forth, once an artist is selected, contracts are all done. And then it takes about probably 3-4 months after that, depending upon the workload of the artists involved, and going back and forth. And then it's done. And then it kind of sits digitally in files until the next Crackle series. But one thing that I want to say is really important is that all throughout the process, even in the scripts, many times in the script, I say, this is how I see things. I'm not sure. Can I share on this thing?
Yes, you can.
All right. Let's actually see what I wrote. Which one do we want to do? I'll do share.
It's the beauty of the internet and doing Zoom. Luckily, by having a pandemic, it's the only good thing to come out of the pandemic. We all got a little bit more technologically capable.
Oh yeah.
Can
For 2 years.
Can you see my screen?
We can.
All right, so let's go to Memo. So Memo is the one that I was describing before. So yeah, so that's the big thing. Yeah, the big thing is always put your page turns at the top so your artists know where the page turns are, because that's a big thing visually. At least for me, I always just see. It's another funny thing that I learned how to describe this. I have a feral type of learning when it comes to script writing. Feral meaning that I had to learn in the wild. I just kept doing it, and then I found the best method to do it. There are scripts that you can see. Comics Experience has some scripts. There's a couple other professional scripts that are out there in the wild. But for the most part, there's no set format. So you just have to kind of figure out the format that works best for you and your creative team. And so I found this to be the best, or at this time, this method is effective. So the idea is that the creative team could, if they have to, they print out the page and work on that page specifically. So I know I'm kind of jumping ahead, but the artist can print off all page one's information, and then they would just hang that up on their board and have to print out page one so they can know what they're looking at, and then focus on that. So that's why I try to have the header have the name of the project, and then the page count on the bottom. But yeah, these for complex stories like Ghost, like I said, Ghost Girl, and all this other stuff. That I'm trying to build this world. This is like a fantasy world. I give general notes. This is kind of mansplaining, but this is just how I have all these ideas of like the limitations of ghosts in this world. This is fantasy, but I want to try to keep it as balanced and realistic as possible.
I think I can correlate for you. We've all read Walking Dead here. We're all familiar when Carl winds up getting his eye shot out. It's the
Spoiler.
last page of, I can't remember what issue it was, but it's one of those things that if you are not expecting it, it will blow your crazy mind. It made me not want to go to work the next day. But to be fair, I was an alcoholic and I was drunk the next day, so I didn't go to work. But what happened in that story, if you wound up not turning that page and you go, okay, so there's a whole lot of chaos going around, and oh, wow, so I guess Carl was shot. I wish that would have been, surprise to me by turning a page. This is why having that page layout for the surprise not be ruined by being on the same page instead of turning to get that surprise.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that, as I mentioned about, like, my stories are about time, but that's one of the things I just love about comics is that you as the reader control time. You control the pace that you read each panel, and you control how quick you get to the next page turn. And so as a writer and as the artistic team, like, you have to come up with tricks to keep the reader's eyes staying as much as they can, if you want them to. And then I can't remember exactly that issue of The Walking Dead, or like the page by page what was going on, but like, I've done a couple of tricks like that where it's been mundane type of stuff, and it's either dialogue mundane or the panel layout is mundane, like 9-panel grids or something like that, or very structural, and then crazy things happen, and then that's just a nice little trick to play, because that just heightens the unexpected, because as part of comics, you don't have like a soundtrack, you don't have music, you can't do any of that type of tricks that TV shows and movies can do. But yeah, if you want me to keep talking about my comic book thing or writing, but like, so then I break down by the page.
Important.
Yeah. So after
Plus, it's almost like having a metronome.
Wait, what was that?
Go ahead.
He said it's almost like having a metronome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as writing scripts go, usually I'll go by page one, and then if I give any notes for structural layouts or what needs to happen, like I said, I thought this story would happen almost like a play-by-play, and then then I break it down. The big thing that I do that I learned is that as far as creative team goes, the letterer is the last person to process, and usually the letterer, even for professional books, they'll get the story, an hour before it's supposed to be printed, and they have to quickly go do all the letters, and they're usually the last person in production. They're usually the person that is gets a lot of the brunt of the work and little of the respect. So I try to give the letterer as much easiness as possible. So as I go through each panel, if there's no dialogue, I put in bold letters that there's no dialogue, so that they can glance and see that, all right, panel 1, no dialogue, panel 2, no dialogue. All right, panel 3 has a dialogue, and it says that there's an illustration of a word balloon, because it's a picture within a picture, and the person says, I eat boogers, or I eat people's boogers. And then off panel, someone called the Bearded Man says, no, I don't. So I try to give directions of what happened, or like where dialogue comes from, especially if it comes from off panel. And then it keeps going. She's like, all right, so then next panel has one speaker, and the the panel after that has another one. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure this is super intricate as far as the ins and outs of things. But okay, so after that's done, we go to we got the character sketches. This is one of the character sketches that Enrico Orlandi did. Phenomenal Italian artist. He recently had one of his books translated by Dark Horse called The Flower of the Witch, and he has another one. He's big in Italy. He's not much stuff has been translated here. But yeah, so we go through character sketches after the artist has read the script, and then probably layouts. Then we go to thumbnails, and from the thumbnails, same thing. We discuss like what works, what doesn't work. As you can kind of see, this first panel, Enrico thought it'd be good to have a silent introduction panel, establishing shot panel. And I mean, it works because it's the first panel of the first page of the story. So we kind of just see our protagonist sitting by herself. And then we go through, like I said, pseudo dialogue to make sure everything fits. You have enough headroom. That's always a big thing. Like as you can kind of see right here, Enrico knew that this was going to be a huge dialogue panel, so he wants to leave room. We just kind of keep going from there. And then we get thumbnails of the whole thing, and we figure out what's the actual heart of the story and build from there and see what works, what doesn't work. Line art's next. And then it gets to pretty detailed. From here, there's little to no changes at this point. There really shouldn't be, unless it's something very minor where it's either, say if this character had the watch on the wrong hand or just something super simple. But after that, like I said, this is going back and forth, and I'm trying to be as open as possible. Like I trust your vision, like everything looks good. I'm very interested to see how this turns out. And then side quality file. So then we get into what the colors will look like. Same thing. There's usually little to no updates at this point, because at this point there really is no way to go back. You don't want to ask for a complete panel change, because at this point it's just a pain in the butt for the artist, unless it direly needs to be done and you can explain why it needs to be done. But at this point, it's mostly trust the artist, make sure, support the artist as much as you can. And then at that point, like I said, it's basically done. And then you get to the letterer, go to the whips, letterer. This is playing around. Well, this was an interesting one because we have a character that stutters. So we're playing around. I had DC Hopkins, who's a letterer, I think from Michigan. And we were trying to figure out different ways to type of do stutter. If you can kind of see, the letters are sort of bouncy and stick out a little bit, but we try to make them a little bit more bouncy. And I was watching a lot of YouTube videos of people stuttering and talking about their stutter and learning a lot, and try to actually figure out what phonetically our character is her tics, phonetically what stops her. And then once it's done, it's all pretty. I mean, this is a low res version, but yeah. And you can kind of see. So from initial thought until completion, it's usually 6-7 months. I mean, I'll have different things going at different stages. Currently, I got 3 stories that's being illustrated. I need to write one more script, and Crackle 3 should be out in October. So I got to hurry up and write that one more script.
Well, now after having Ace order a copy just earlier this evening, copy for me too, because I'm still waiting on my next paycheck for next week, because I probably shouldn't have spent all that money on Tomb of Dracula last week. But hey, we're making sure to support.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. So Ace, are you able to talk there, or are you still having fireworks?
As of right now, I'm able to speak. So want to interrupt the interview. Can you go back to Ree's comment, because I need to do something.
Where's Ree's? Which one?
The 1039.
Oh Lord, this again. Yeah, why not? Okay.
Okay, Ree, I can do that as long as your safe word is go for butthole. You would have to go back to Robo's comment from before that to understand.
Wow. So you say the book's called Crackle.
Great segue.
You know, somebody's going to be like, oh, Phillip Maira, Crackle. Oh, look at this. Here's a YouTube video. Let's watch. Holy Christ.
What did I click on?
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
So Ace, did you have something there?
Oh, no. I'm good.
Okay.
You guys, let's show books then.
All right.
That's actually a good question. I know that we don't want to keep you all night long. We do thank you so much for coming. And you don't have to stick around the whole episode. And one of the greatest tags that you had at the very tail end of the book, which is not to spoil anything, but now is gone. Time to move forward. Now, do you collect comic books on a weekly basis? Do you read them? And did you pick up any today?
Trades.
No.
He's a trade waiter. Remember, he was
I'm
saying
a trade
earlier.
waiter. I feel bad. I don't get that many comic books in my LCS, and I show up like every 3 weeks.
Hey, we've all been
bad.
Pick them up. That's
I'm
the
there now.
I do. I pick them up. I pay.
There you go.
I pay like it. And the thing is, I pay for a lot of books that I don't read that go straight to the shelf as soon as I get them.
That would be
None of
most
us?
of my DC.
Yeah.
None of us have ever done that before.
That's all my X-Men books.
I have
This is the
whole
best
runs of stuff that's all I did.
Oof.
It's the
That's
running
rough.
joke
Yeah.
of our show here that I have an entire New 52 flash from New 52 till when did the last issue come out?
Now.
But I have not read because they're producing too many and you can't keep up. This is what we deal with week in, week out. This is this week alone.
You know, an option is always
Oh,
buying
no.
less comics. I mean,
Who's
that's
going to do that?
Yeah,
it is.
I'm
an
trying to
option.
cut back and do more trades, but that's hard.
Says the guy with the wall of Scotty Young. So, so Phil, thank you very much for
Don't
hanging
you
out
judge
with us. If you'd like to hang out while we show books, you're more than welcome. If you'd like to take off and go make some comics, we can always support that as well.
No, I'll sit down with you guys. I'll sit
Right
down,
on.
Chad. I got time. It's only
Right
10
on.
o'clock or so where I'm at.
There you go.
So we're
All
going to
right.
show some books. Miracle Man, you want to go first?
Before we start, Robo had a question about emailing you. Is it okay if I send him your email? Because he's on the channel I Freaking Love Comics.
Yeah,
And,
you can
he's a
share
cool
my
dude.
And that show is
Alright.
infinitely better at the interview. They're a much more professional
They're
group.
awesome.
They're fantastic. They're
Yeah.
one of our sister shows or brother shows. They're our homies is essentially what we're saying.
Oh,
here.
yes.
So they're family.
Our peoples.
Yes. So I mean, yeah, I got a couple books. You want me to start? Is that what we're going with?
Yeah,
Miracle Man starts tonight.
pretty much.
All right. I got my new ones. Oh wait, did we get Robo's question? Do you have another question, Robo?
Oh, that was the
Oh,
question
wow.
he asked.
Oh, okay. All right. Good.
Yeah.
All right. So okay,
Make him big, Rob.
Embiggen.
Opening up right now. Hopefully my mouse will continue to
Enhance.
be done.
Enhance.
God damn it.
Buy a
It
fucking cheap
died.
mouse, man.
I
Oh my
just
God.
put
Series.
batteries into
Can
this
you
thing.
buy Rob a mouse?
We're gonna start a GoFundMe. It's gonna be for $29.99. It's gonna be to get this cheap bastard another mouse. Here we go. So we're gonna start off. I got a bunch of new books, so we're gonna do those by publisher. All right. So first and foremost, our friends at Ahoy. We've had Tom Pear. Wow.
You know this guy, don't you?
Yeah, it's my buddy.
Oi, oi.
I would hope so. Otherwise, that's just weird, man.
Shut up, Robo.
Go for it.
Yes, you would.
You're a liar. So, from Ahoy Comics, Blacksmith, that was, written by Eric Palicki, who was just on the show recently. Issue 5. So that was the first issue of Blacksmith. Let me tell you guys, I'm just going to give you a quick flash of the interiors. It's a black and white book, okay? But it was a great book.
I pre-ordered it, but my shop didn't get it in today.
Oh, they're horrid. They're a horrid shop. Wrong Earth 98.
I'm just glad you didn't open up the Cherry Blackbird.
Why would I do that?
I'll do it.
I don't want to get us kicked off the show again.
Again.
Wrong Earth 98 number 5. We are now up to 3 separate Dragonfly men. There's Dragonfly, Dragonfly Man, and Man Dragonfly.
What?
You got to read the book to understand.
That was formerly known as Dragonfly.
That's going to be the next one, I bet. Here we got from Image, first issue of Ordinary Gods. Guys, I don't know if you ordered this book, but I'll tell you if you didn't, you made a mistake.
Didn't hear about it. Huh.
Go get it. Go get it. It's going to pop.
Guaranteed it's going to pop.
My shop bought really heavy in them because we do a previews night. I chit-chatted with him about it a little bit. I was like, hey, man, I think that book might be hot. He's like, yeah, I think it's going to be hot. He goes, if you think it's going to be hot and I think it's going to be hot, I'm going to buy a couple extra. And by
2-person rule.
By the shop opens at 11. By 11:15, there was 1 copy left on the shelf.
There is a fat stack at my shop.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a popular book. This is the 3rd printing of Nottingham number 2. It's just, 3rd printing.
Oh, they're doing a sequel to that. It's called Yesingham.
Yes, I've heard this.
The dad
I thought it was
strong tonight.
Yesing bacon. Nice House on the Lake number 2. There was a variant cover which had this tree and a guy playing a piano. It looked kind of dope, but at the same time, this one was just cool. Look at all this. It's terrifying. Look at all those people. And let me tell you, there's some terrifying imagery in this issue, just like in the first one.
That just looks like being on a train in China.
True. Or anywhere in my neighborhood. Suicide Squad number 5. This is the B cover. That's why it's a crime syndicate on there. So Suicide Squad, if you haven't been reading it, tied into Teen Titans Academy and tied into the crime syndicate mini that's going on right now. I mean, directly into it. And this issue is showing us they're going to be doing Suicide Squad's going to be messing with Earth 3 with the evil Justice League Earth. So
they're going to get transferred there or what?
So the future state showed them already fighting there on Earth 3. So this is supposed
Earth
to be leading
3
up to
like invade or
no. They went to Earth 3. The squad goes there. Justice League 64 introducing the United. I thought it was the Justice League United. It seems to be United Planets, which is less cool. AWA Upshot. This is that Fight Girls I was telling you about from Frank Cho. Look at that dope ass cover.
Frank Cho.
For Frank Cho. And we got a little dark horse here. Masters of the Universe Revelation.
Wait, what?
This is leading right into the animated series. It's written by Kevin Smith.
You got the same cover I did.
And there you go. That's a Mignona cover. How do you beat that?
Yep. Can't.
X-Men number 1. Gotta get that peach. Gotta get that peach.
Gotta get that peach. I got that. Scott T. Young.
They were out of those by the time I looked. Skybound X number 1. This is one of the 1 in 10 variants. The black and white Clementine. And that's it for the LCS books. But I also got a Kickstarter in. Blood Force Trauma. I got all 3 issues. This is from Dead Gremlin Comics.
Oh, that cover is clean.
Now, let me tell you something, man. Look at this. See, here's issue 3. I'm just going to give you a little peek in the interiors.
I like the colors already.
Right. The colors are like that throughout. It is great. It is great. Now, here is one thing I did notice, and not slamming them, but if you notice, what very important comic book job is not listed here?
Letterer.
Penis fondler.
Letterer. I will say the one thing I found that was not perfect on this book, because it's a beautiful book. It's a great story. It's very fun. If you notice, the lettering is a little small.
Did it look like they were using at least Adobe Illustrator instead of Photoshop for the letter, for the word balloons?
I prefer not to make guesses on that. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
The colors are amazing.
Colors are amazing. The colorist is fantastic. The artist is great. The writer's phenomenal. I loved it.
Right, Comics at Law.
Now, I also got
Wiki.
a couple of back issues. Just a couple.
A couple, like that's like 15 for you.
Well, that's like 20.
I
So I
got
got.
one.
Here's
I was on my
Milestones.
5.
Here's Milestones. Heroes number 5. Almost done with this. I need one more
Oh,
issue.
no, I never heard of this one.
Oh, it's a miniseries. It's a
Huh.
miniseries. It's like a team. It's like a kind of a thrown together. The team up. Static is on the team. I remember
nice.
a Blood Syndicate. I remember a Shadow Cabinet. It's all different characters. Mr. Miracle number 1 from the early. What's this? 98. I think this was from. And I got a couple of old Wonder Womans out of this bin at a flea market. Man, check these out. Look at this beautiful ass Kaluta cover. Number 297.
Oh, that's clean.
Look at that.
Hey, Tyler.
Hey,
Now we got a 299 here. And this is one of my favorite covers from this era. Here you go, number 301.
Can I have that?
Oh,
No. Do you need one, though? I get it for you.
Sure.
I got one for you.
I just wanted it because you said it was your favorite.
Oh, I see. We
And
got a Superman.
I respect you a lot.
Oh, you reckon this
Another
time?
one.
Another one.
You got like 15 of those, don't you?
I just
Yeah.
need one.
I got
Come
you.
on.
Everybody, I got one for everybody. I got one for everybody.
Yay!
Awesome.
Even Ace if they want one. Which I
No.
know they don't, but even Ace if they want one.
No, give mine away to somebody
You're
else.
making it rain.
Right. So I
Superman.
$1. I paid $1. Listen, guys, if you're paying, this is the first Bloodsport, okay? And by the way,
This book blew up too.
this issue of Suicide Squad is all about Bloodsport.
What is it?
Oh, wow.
The very first blood fart.
That's right,
Yeah, basically.
very first. Played by Idris Elba in the upcoming The Suicide Squad.
Idris Elba's blood fart.
So this book
Please.
should be $1 book
That's
because
fun.
because it's Superman Volume 2, and Volume 2 had at least the first 20 or so issues had to have been in the half
Make you want to
million run. I mean, they were ridiculously high print runs. This is 1987 or 88. 87.
I was just born.
Yeah.
To be fair, Static Shock had a ton of prints out there, yet
First
still
issue.
people are paying
that's cool,
80
man.
bucks and up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here we
I
got-
want that book one day.
From Fantico. I got my eye out for you. From Fantico, this is Night of the Living Dead number 0. So for those of you who don't know, Night of the Living Dead fell into the public domain because they did not copyright the original film right. So anybody can make Night of the Living Dead. And
Some better than others.
some better than others. Fantico was not one of the betters. World's Finest 323. This is the final issue of that series.
Oh wow!
Got a couple of copies of this. It's a nice one. Nightwing Annual
Nice
number
one.
2.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know,
How about
this
that?
That
in
plays
this
off of
issue,
that Birds of Prey, doesn't it?
what? Say again?
That plays off of that Birds of Prey. What is it? Issue 8 or 10?
Yes,
Yeah.
because this is where they get engaged.
Oh,
And that 8 is when they get married and divorced.
Dang!
Now, I'm going to
That
show
was
you all
fast.
something. Yeah, right. I'm going to show you all something. This one's a funky one from Verotic, which was published by Glenn Danzig of the metal band,
Verotic.
thrash band, I don't know, Danzig. Grub Girl number 1.
Oh, I want that.
Huh.
I don't know what it's about, but I love it.
Miracle Man.
Yes.
Miracle Man, you have got to come. Like, my 50 zip bins and my LCS are so DC rich. You would, like, poop yourself.
I probably pooped myself. Speaking of Birds of Prey, there's the first real appearance, Birds of Prey Revolution number 1. That was $1. Here we got from the Green Lantern, Green Arrow reprint of the Denny O'Neil era. That's issue 3. You know, those original books are starting to get pricey, guys, and this
I'm
year is
only-
still not too bad.
I am only missing 5 issues left, 80 through 84, and I'm
Damn.
done with Green Lantern from 76 all the way through the final issue 225.
Nice. Mark Spector, Moon Knight number 33. Again, books that are suddenly getting a little bit pricier, a little bit more
I love that
expensive,
series.
a
Yeah,
little bit tougher.
I gotta.
Savage Dragon 59. Y'all know I love my Savage Dragon.
Ten
Here's one.
numbers off.
Here's one for you. Solar Man of the Atom #9.
Hmm.
This is an original
Valiant.
Valiant books. The first 10 issues of Solar, Magnus, and Exo are some of the best comics ever made.
Oh yeah, I'm working on EXO right now.
They're fantastic, and they're so tied together. Master
Damon.
of Karate, friendship for everyone. I also got
Hey, man.
a couple of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Wait,
From
really?
from the first volume. There's number 14.
That is a sick
I've never heard
cover.
of them before.
Yeah, so it turns out that they're grocers and they're lizards and they're middle-aged. Here's number 24, yeah. And here's number 26. And these are Rick Veitch covers, by the way. Rick Veitch covers, look at that.
Where'd you get these from? Your little honey hole?
One of my little honey holes, you know me.
I
You know
knew
me.
it.
Yeah.
So in the 90s, DC brought their showcase back, and it was a monthly series that gave you like 4 different stories, an anthology series. It gave you a proto version of Birds of Prey. This is the very last issue of the very last year. They would do like Showcase 93, 94, 95. And here's the very last one, Showcase 96, issue 12. Just a dope ass cover. No, it's Brainiac.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's the
It
Coral
looks
Docs
like
Brainiac.
Ego.
Yeah, kind of. With the
90s
goatee.
90s Brainiac was an alien consciousness that invaded a sideshow hustler at a carnival. The 90s were a weird time at DC. So here's a mature reader's title from DC. It wasn't a Vertigo title. Okay? It was just a mature reader's. It was in 1991. But this is by Jamie Delano and John Higgins.
Yeah,
It's called-
Hellblazer people. Yeah.
Yes, it's called World Without End.
Constantine, baby.
Amen.
And I have the
Amen.
first 5 issues, but I did not find
Oh, that's
the
a
6th
great
one.
cover.
Right? That's the one that did it by itself for me. There's that one. Now, last but not least, here's a book that I have literally been looking for since 1992. And I haven't found. And I found it this week for only, I want to say $8, might have been $7, something like that. I was so happy. From Fantico, once again, the original 4-issue miniseries that printed the comic book adaptation of the original Night of the Living Dead. Issue 2.
Oh wow, that's a great cover.
Right?
Who
Right?
did the cover?
The artist on this, I'm going to say cover artist is the same as interiors. Carlos Castro.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I don't know any of the creators on this. It's a very unique art style. Let me show you here a little bit. Because they're trying to make them look like the original actors as close as possible. Because it's literally just a straight adaptation. This book was never cracked before I bought it. It was brand new. It was sitting in the shop since it came out in 1992.
Back and forth.
Now, yeah,
Forward.
I'm out. I was gonna message Aaron Myers and be like, dude, where are you getting your stuff right now? Because I can't find shit. So here's the thing, guys. The Fantico books had exceptionally low print runs to begin with, and the Night of the Living Dead books have recently gotten a little heat because HBO has announced that they're going to be making an animated adaptation of Night of the Living Dead. I don't know how that's going to work out. I don't know how that's going to work out.
While we're on the
Like a
subject
series
of
or just a
weird-
movie?
A series.
Oh,
on the subject of very weird animation, what was that thing that we were just discussing prior to coming on air tonight that's getting an animated TV show?
Oh.
Faust.
Oh yeah,
Tim
Faust.
Vigil and David Quinn's Faust is getting the animated.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say they go like Batman animated style art, but Tim Vigil style evisceration.
Oh shit!
Batman anus related.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, all the violence is going to make that train
Not feeling
sequence
mature
from
today.
Invincible look
Like nothing.
contrite.
Doesn't look like nothing. If you can do Invincible as an animated series, you can definitely get away with Faust. Although I will say there's a lot more penis in Faust.
One
than
of
there is in
my
Invincible.
favorite animated series, straight up, Daria.
There you go.
Fucking love Daria.
Right, right. I'm not gonna lie. The fact that Ace and Lady F love Daria is not a shock to me.
Yeah, she lived. We have some overlapping experiences.
There you go. And that's it. That's everything I got this week, guys.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't that much this week, right?
And even Ava agrees. Daria is awesome.
There you go.
Yeah, I liked watching Daria.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
La, 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 la,
So who's
la,
next?
la,
Ace,
la,
Lady,
la.
Kirk.
Did you get anything, Kirk? I think you should go, Kirk.
I didn't pick up books
Kirk,
this week.
Kirk.
But
Wah.
I said but.
But
I do have like 3 books to show.
Let's see.
So I am working on this Mighty Thor.
Yeah.
So I picked up
Yeah.
13.
is that
You
Lady
made me
Thor?
real- Yep.
Yeah.
And then I've always wanted this cover, and I'm slowly working on this Miles Morales series. So here's
Yeah, that's the one, bro.
13. Yeah, this is my favorite one, and I've never seen this one right here. But this one is like the
Lit.
shit right here.
I have that one too. A cover
Yeah.
is bad butt.
Yeah, I thought this was a variant. I'm like, this is not a variant.
No.
That's all I got though. I'll pick up books this weekend.
Yeah, it's like me. In fact, last week I got so turned on by the fact that I went to another comic book shop first. I went to Phil's comic shop, saw Brian. That's where I picked up the X-Men 50 and 51. And I was thinking the entire day it was Wednesday because I got comics for the new books and then went and showed books on Lady F. And I was telling somebody earlier today, yeah, you should go and check this other place out. I went there on New Comic Wednesday and there was nobody else there. And I could just like, wait a second. No, Rep, that was Friday. Look what the pandemic has done to us. It's fried our brain so that we no longer know what day of the week it is, as long as it's Wednesday somewhere where you can pick up comics. Who's got books? Lady F?
Ace, do you want to show any?
Sure.
Come on.
Hi. Do y'all remember a week ago when I was just like, I don't really buy Marvel or DC?
She's weird. They're weird. You're an asshole.
I bought some DC.
Shut your.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Most
It's
of it's back
amenable.
issues.
what the hell?
Most of it's back issues, and it's so I can recover from my trauma.
Were you
Yay!
were you feeling weird? Were you just like, okay?
I was just like, let's fill all the holes in my soul from childhood.
And so I'll find DC. That's where I'll go.
So, I
Yeah.
got this Batgirl. I read this series during like the worst possible moment in my life, and it means a lot to me, and I'm finally collecting it, and that makes me happy. So,
Sweet.
yeah. And my babe right there.
Oh, I love that Batgirl 4. That's a banger cover. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
Stephanie Brown.
that second cover you show was clean.
Wait, let's see that again. Which one was that?
What?
Show
Batgirl
all
4.
of them again.
Hold
Batgirl
on.
4.
Number 4.
Yeah,
Oh, is that a banger?
that's a
Yeah.
banger.
Well, no.
Don't do it.
Oh,
Don't do
no.
it, Rob. Please don't.
Don't do it
No.
to Ace.
God,
Not
don't.
doing it. Not doing it.
I got
Nice.
Dirt Pay.
Nice. Black Canary features prominently in this week's Suicide Squad as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
That looks beautiful.
That's a
AKA
great one.
read Suicide Squad.
For the love of God, read Suicide Squad, people.
It really annoys me
No.
that whoever bagged these at Second and Charles put them in backwards.
Yeah, I'm with you. I hate it when they do that.
I hate that too.
Second and Charles. Second of Charles used to be a real honey hole, and then they hired somebody who now goes through every single comic before it goes on the shelf.
Yeah, Half Price used to be the same way. You could find like real charmers, but I think everybody that works there just goes on like key collector now.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah,
Wick Div, I love that Wick Div.
My favorite comic series of all time.
It's some kind of squad. They don't care about dying. Wick Div.
Wick Div.
Actually, I noticed that, Michael. Quite nice as well.
Then, wait, I do have Deja Thoras.
Boobalas.
I love Deja Thoras.
I love Deja Thoras because there's very few characters that can cover up that can pull off a nipple armor. But Deja Thoras can pull off nipple armor.
And I got this.
What is that? Is that sensational?
Wonder Girl 2.
Wonder Girl.
Oh yeah, the new one, the new series.
What's that? What's that been like? Have you read it?
I read the first one. It was really good.
Was it? Okay.
Like it made me like want to start reading Wonder Woman canon stuff again.
Wow. Okay.
Huh.
Yeah. So I get that.
International Wonder Woman.
And then that.
Oh, you're getting the regular cover A's too.
Well, only because they didn't have the B covers.
That was pretty though.
Nice.
Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah.
I love
that one.
I wish they didn't have those W's on them at the top right
Oh,
corner,
that's a nice
bottom
one,
right
too.
corner on that.
If they made a Robin Eisenberg variant
crazy.
cover every single Wonder Woman book, I would buy every single Wonder Woman book.
Yeah. Hold on. I have to let my dog in this room because she's being annoying.
Yeah, I've been trying.
I've
been trying to pull off the nipple armor for years, and it just doesn't look right on me. I don't know why.
Well, it's chafing.
10 years ago, maybe for me, but nah, not right now for sure.
True. All right.
All right. So to fulfill Ava's every want and desire, I know that Ava wanted this to happen. Sorry, Ace, you're not here right now.
Warning, 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 warning. Banger alert, banger alert. Holy fucking shit. Look at that fucking book. Oh my fucking god. Look at that fucking book. Oh my god. Look at that book. Jesus. Oh my god.
I like turtles.
Oh man.
The beginning was the exact moment I sat down. So
Good. Didn't want you to see it.
Thanks.
All right.
All right.
Wah, wah, wah.
25th.
Oh, nice.
It's about taking 25th up your butthole. So if you're into that.
25th. We had that creator on the show. That was one of our first guests.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
25th is really good. It's like Fight Club meets Romeo and Juliet, but lesbian. And I got this.
Cool.
I didn't read the first one yet, but I like the covers. So, you know. Then Buffy, I got the one of the gray-haired lady because MILF, you know.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Not get that?
Gray-haired lady, that's a gilf, isn't it?
No, not in this case.
I want that. I must get it.
Oh, I love those covers.
I must get it.
Purdy.
Hey, John.
So good.
What up, John? Soul brother.
And I got this in the mail.
Ooh.
It is a it's like only like 100 exist, and it's one of the
Not
heartbeat variants.
Wow.
There's so much Indolfo coming out soon. Between
yeah.
Sweet Paprika. Oh, there's so much.
It's another heartbeat. Those are Maria LeVay books, but Miraca did the cover for it, and it's been really hard to find. So.
Oh, that's a great cover.
I just finished reading issue 2 of Hollow Heart, and I just want to let everybody know it is a queer romance story between a monster and a man.
Yeah, beautiful.
And it's a beautiful story, But there is a point where there is a monster jack off, just so everybody's aware, in case you have not read the book yet. There's a little.
Which is
Wait,
why
what
you
series?
should be reading it.
Right.
What series is this from?
How many HJs do you see in horror films?
Hollow Heart.
Hollow Heart.
Monster
Wait,
Jackoffs.
It's
When did
from
this
Vault.
come out?
Started
Oh.
coming out beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Huh.
Also,
Great book.
nobody cares but me, but I'm only one cover away from having every single thing Maria Louvet has ever put out.
Ooh, that's wonderful.
Yay. All
That's
right.
debating.
Sermon number 3 pissed me the fuck off because the ending was very like blamey for suicide. Then issue 4 redeemed itself. So,
Yes.
you know,
Issue 5's final issue, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, so issue 5, along with that, Mamo got a 5 out of 5 on the, I think it was a CBR review list where they reviewed a whole bunch of stuff. The only stuff that got the 5 out of 5 was that Mamo and issue 5 of the prior one there.
Carmen.
I picked Mana up because I assumed it might be gay, but I don't know if it is, so we'll see. And then Nice House on the Lake, the better cover.
Yeah, there's something about that. It didn't tweak me.
Well, that's sad.
The cover or the story?
No, the cover. I preferred the one in the bathtub where everybody was pressed up against the glass to look in.
Mm-hmm.
Might be other reasons for that.
And then this is one of the variants for Wind, and it was really good.
Nice.
And also self-promo. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. on Brags and Birds, we're going to be discussing Sandman, and it's going to be me, Miracle Man, Ree, Grant, and 2 people that I know from the internet. So watch that. Bye.
I will not have any input on that book. I will just be there for color commentary on everybody else's comments.
I have a musical number planned. Be ready.
Oh,
Sweet.
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, and good to see you, Philip. Bye. Up to you, lady. Oh, no, there he is. Devices are reconnecting. But over to you, lady.
I picked up the print, right? The Werewolf by Night 32. America number 4.
That's pretty.
I got the Tales in Technicolor.
I did not see that.
Season 1. Yeah, so my LCS had 2, but I promised one to Unruly, my buddy. So I told him so. But if I see any more, I'll pick one up for you guys, okay?
Unruly is awesome.
Okay. Geiger number 4. And then they had this guy, he's a wrestler, his name's like Danhausen or something. But this is the Commanders in Crisis number 10 variant. Steve Orlando does this, but this guy's like a wrestler. I don't know. They were talking about like, if you know, on that stupid key collector, they brought this one up, and I was like, okay, well, my LCS has a single copy of it, and it's this one. Sure, I'll grab it. I love Steve Orlando. Commander in Crisis, And then I definitely got this because it was very campy, and it's curious, and it had, all right, dude, it had unicorns and pancakes. Fuck, how could you not? So this is the WWF New Day comic book, Power Positivity. This is a Raza variant. It's really awesome and funny, and I kind of love it. It's absurd. Then I got some stuff from the 50-cent bin. This is Rogue number 5. I got it for aesthetic purposes. It's just like beautiful. Picked this up also in the 50-cent. Shut up. Comics at Law, Ricky. Ultimate Avengers number 1. Yeah. You never know what you'll find in the 50-cent bin. Also, I found FF number 1. Yeah, I know. Unicorns and pancakes, bro. That's not a loss, is it? Messiah War, X-Men Cable Messiah War number 14, second print variant.
Mm.
And then this, I found Avengers versus X-Men number 2.
Ooh.
Third
So,
printing.
yeah, I was like, okay. But it was just like 50-cent bin fodder. And then I'll show you some books that I got in the mail. Miss Kitty, what are you doing? Champions 25 from the 2016 run. He's so silly. Hold on. Nuggy. This totally awesome Hulk 11, but it's a Defenders variant. Stephanie Hans did the art. It's really badass.
Yeah, it is.
Billy Badass.
Well, I said it is Billy Badass, but I said really badass. This time I did. But I have been known to say Billy Badass. Miss Marvel number 7. I have a couple copies of these loading up on it because those are 3 pretty cool characters. This, trying to get these. I like these 70th anniversary things. All right. I also picked up this. I'm putting together this run, and it's the Hulk number 50, and it's actually the Diamonds, like the retailers, Diamond Retailer Summit variant of issue 50. Yeah. Then I also, I wanted to pick up the all new Wolverine 1. The A cover is really expensive now. Well, 25 to 35 bucks. This is like still like $3 to $5 if you want to find it on eBay. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, well that's not a difficult choice. This, because I'm collecting them as well. I'm trying to do the modern frames, and this one was just killer. Amazing. Spider-Man 603 in his black suit.
Great cover.
Finally, this will complete my current Ghost Spider run. And this is just like kind of cupcake. Greg Land.
I wonder what he traced to make that one.
Yeah. So, anyways, that came out around the, Corona time. But anyways, sorry I'm yawning. I'm a granny. I'm boring. And that's all I have to say about that.
You're not boring. And guess who's back? Almost back. I can actually see him on the screen, but for some reason it's black there. Weird. All right, so I guess it's up to me to show some books. So here's some books. There's everything I got this week. Let's start with the Marvel stuff. Here is the second issue of the annual. This is continuing on from that Infinite Destinies. That last week there was an issue of Black Cat that they introduced the Tiger Division. So it's they have a character now that is the Korean version of the Sentry, but probably even more powerful than the Sentry. This is the issue 70 cover, regular, which I really prefer. This is just a really nice, simple, elegant cover. And this I ordered sight unseen, having no idea what the cover would look like. And
it's when Peach nails it, she nails it, but she doesn't always nail it.
This feels like something I would have drawn back in like 9th grade.
Yeah, not one of her best.
I love Peach. She's a great artist, but let her make her money. That's all I'll say.
Right.
Here's the Pride variant of America Chavez.
Oh, that's cool.
Because my shop didn't get any of the regular covers.
Oh.
The final issue of Captain America. This has been a good run. It just feels kind of non-eventful at this point. And they're going to be coming out with a new Captain America series soon anyway. Here's one where I'm just going to get the first issue because do we really need more Carnage after
No. Oh
I'm done with Carnage. Seriously.
I picked it up and then I put it back on the rack.
I think I said that. I think I said that in
that's nice.
1993. I was done with
Oh, what is
Carnage.
that?
Yeah. This one here, I can't wait to read. I have read nothing today because I spent all my time reading Crackle, which really, guys, go and check that out. Check out the Kickstarter. It is in the description. But this is the not penultimate issue. Yeah, no, 2 issues left to go. Maybe a couple one-shots. But Red Harpy is back in this, and this is the only issue that I got. It was a back issue, and it was just not bagged, not boarded. It was just out, and he let me have it for $10.
Pretty.
Oh, nice. That's a great cover.
Yeah, Alex Ross doing X-Force.
Yeah.
This is that issue that blew up at the beginning of the year, and I went like, wait a second. This isn't reprints of Marvels. This is new stuff. Shit! How did I not order that?
Yeah.
So I have 5 and 6. I'm looking for 1 through 4. This I've been loving. I think this is the penultimate issue before issue 100. I know Ace doesn't really favor the Rainbow Rowell, but I like this one series by Rainbow. I've read nothing else by Rainbow.
I just hate her as a novel writer so fucking much. And I have a personal vendetta against her and Cassandra Clare, but that's a whole different thing.
Don't hold
Well,
back.
that seems healthy, so I'll encourage it.
Thank
That's right.
you.
Hatred of anybody should always be encouraged.
Thank you.
And stoked.
Healthy.
Misinformation and division is always suggested, and so on and so forth. Anything, sorry, just kidding.
Yeah, we're all about unity here.
I just got hit by a Russian bot. I was like, what?
I got hit by somebody's dumbass car today coming back from the comic book shop, but there was 0 damage to my car except for a teeny tiny little like paint chipping.
I'm so glad you clarified that it was the car that was hit, but go on.
Yeah, I thought she was hit.
Right.
No,
It's your luck.
No one punched me. I mean, if I did, I wouldn't probably be on the show because I'd probably be in jail for murder. So no, instead I was just driving home and I go to clear one lane and this guy in the middle lane goes, "Hey, I can make a right-hand turn here by clearing all this traffic," and just runs into me. Doesn't speak a lick of English. I have him pull over to a hospital. He's using an app to try and get English to Spanish, only to go, yeah, there's no damage. Just go away. Go away. I'm done with this now. I just want to go home and read comics. Like this. Oh yeah, I should probably blow myself up. This is a reprint.
Don't do that.
It's a reprint, but it'll go nicely to the actual first prints I got. Here is Children of the Atom issue number 5. I'm kind of hoping if they finish up the storyline, I'm probably going to jump off of this because most of this X-Men stuff, I'm just, I haven't read Hellions in like 4 or 5 issues now. X-Force, I haven't been reading X-Force unless it was X of Swords. And hey, look, volume 5 of X-Men.
I didn't even finish.
I might read it. I would have read it a lot faster had Hickman wrote it.
Oh yeah,
This
that's true.
Is fucking gorgeous. This book ends really nicely with this one right here, doesn't it?
Yeah,
if y'all
I
didn't
agree.
pick this up today, you'll be mistaking.
What Batman series is that?
This is regular Batman issue 110.
Oh, is that the A cover?
Yeah, no, this is B cover.
Oh yeah, I probably have the A cover in my box.
Now, I was looking for the A cover for this, but this is Adventure Continues issue number 2, season 2.
Oh yeah, yep, that's in my pool too.
I still haven't read the first issue yet. I still need to read the last 2 issues of the prior season.
It was really good.
Issue of this, but the issue 3 that is on FOC has a throwback to Lobo's back. So yeah, I'll pick up issue 2. I'll see where Crush and Lobo's going. Green Lantern number 4. I have a running Green Lantern series from issue 76 to today, almost completely uninterrupted, with the exception of 80 through 84. So how can I not? Nobody wound up picking this up today. This is a $10 Infinite Frontier Secret Files. So
I had that last week. That was last week.
This
That
was
was a last week book. Yep. Yeah, it's actually got some great stories in there. It really kind of sets you up if you're unfamiliar with the major players and that they've shown us in Infinite Frontier so far. It gives you a little background and gives you a little idea where they're all coming from.
So fairly certain that if this came out last week, I didn't get it because when I went to go deep with CLZ, I didn't have it. So glad that I didn't miss it.
There you go.
Unfortunately, I only got cover A because I was trying to get all the cover Bs because I don't have a cover A to this for issue 1. Why would I want a cover A? You want everything the same with like conformity. I like cover Bs 1 through 12. I don't want to have one cover B, 2 cover A, and then 3 through 12 cover B. It makes no sense. Or at least to me it doesn't because I'm a weird comic collector. So much so that I even got this. I haven't read any of the Wonder Woman books that have been coming out, but I love the covers. One day, maybe we'll have another hurricane hit and everything will remain dry, and I can finally read all this stuff.
You should read them with me.
There you go. Here is Suicide Squad or Young Teen Titan Academy number 6. Swamp Thing. I'm looking forward to this. I know it's a mini-series, so I'll wait till they're all out before reading. Wonder Girl issue number 2. So good that I haven't even read the first issue, but here's also the Pride variant. Love these covers.
I want the Pride variant.
You want the Pride variant? Pride variant's yours. Taking it out is yours.
You don't have to do that.
Sure. I don't need to have every I mean, I have a lot of comics. I don't need to have every comic. Just as long as I don't have a break in my run. Speaking of breaks in the run, I only am missing 2 issues of this, but here is issue 27 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We got a new writer, so this got a 1.5 or 2 out of 5 on the CBR reviews, so I'll probably not be reading that anytime soon until I get those.
No, it's better than that review says. That person's just fucking mad because they got a new writer.
Fair. Geiger, issue 4. I'm liking the series. I'm kind of a little done with the whole apocalyptic stuff, so I'm probably going to be lessening out my apocalyptic pickups. Jenny Zero, we got an addict going to fight kaiju. Love the first 2 issues, so I'm glad that I wound up picking those up. And I'm glad that I got through that first issue, which wound up having errors all over it, then reread it again when they re-released it properly. It's good. Haven't read this yet, but it's Kevin Smith. And if we know anything by Kevin Smith, we won't see it end. Don't look for an ending on that. There probably won't be a last issue. Noctera. I have faith in Scott Snyder. There'll be a last issue. But I got the Francavilla cover because anytime Francavilla does anything with orange in it, I'm picking it up. The man just reeks Halloween. I mean, if I wanted to do a cover for a comic book that's Halloween related, there's only one man I'm going to, and that's Francavilla. Well, here is Steve Scrose doing his Post-American final issue. We got Grimes 2000. It's non-canon, but whatever. It should be fun. It's Kirkman. And there's a bunch of new things going on. There's Manifest Destiny. There's even a ultra mega story. Now, this is the ultra large edition of Space Bastards number 7. It feels like it should be the last issue, but I don't know. It's just a $6 or $7 book. And those are all the books I picked up this week. And wow, we kind of got through this pretty early today, didn't we?
Look at that.
And the last comment I get to see is repumping her shotgun. So what did I do?
Hashtag that's hot.
Hashtag Granny's got to go to sleep. I gotta go to bed, y'all. I had a good time though. I'm really tired.
It's understandable.
I have to.
Go ahead, lady. Anything coming up on your channel? Anything you want to promote?
Nah, I'll be around. You'll see me around.
Might we do anything over the weekend?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to keep things one day at a time, dude. I just set up a really big experiment. Well, today and then tomorrow is going to be my long day. So then, I'll start thinking like a real human after tomorrow evening.
Just a little bit of sleep is all you need.
Sorry. Yeah, I like not thinking. So, I mean, I really like you guys, and I had a good time. Be safe. I would rather be a fart. Take care.
Good night,
Hi,
lady.
lady. We love you.
All right, so we're doing the whole promotion thing so we can close out the show. Ace, you have Sandman coming up tonight, tomorrow night. Wait, yep, tomorrow night because it's still somehow Wednesday. What time is that on and what channel?
It is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Brags and Boards. Be there or don't, but you should. Like, come on over.
Because they actually read Sandman. It's not a bunch of people going, Sandman is just a bunch of SJW crap. Have you read it? Well, no. Fuck off.
Yeah. Well,
Miracle Man, anything going on the Twitters?
yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on there, mostly chud busting and talking about comics. So come on over and do that. Would like to say real quick before we sign off for the evening, for anybody who may have paid attention to the recent goings-ons, Fox News, that most fantastic of news-like channels, recently did a expose on the wokening of Captain America.
The what?
Punched a Nazi in the first issue on the cover, and it was Hitler.
Bear in mind, everybody, anybody who says, they've politicized Captain America with this woke SJW nonsense. Everybody's very familiar with Captain America #1, where Cap punches Hitler. And, we look at that today and we go, that's not controversial. He was a Nazi. You punched the Nazis. In 1941, 6 months before Pearl Harbor, punching a Nazi, particularly Hitler, was very controversial, was very much a political statement, and is very much what would probably have been called in that time, if they had the word, woke, because a good portion of Americans wanted us to have nothing to do with fighting Hitler or the Nazis or Germany in general. So when you see that stuff, just bear in mind one thing. You're listening to people who have no goddamn clue what Captain America is. So, Michael Loftus, that was for you. Other than that, come on by, say hi. We'll talk about comics. We'll make fun of some chuds, regular kind of thing. We'll do one of my favorite things. We'll kick a culture tourist right in the proverbial internet teeth, and just have a good time. I will be on.
Remember one thing, everybody. Critical race theory is only taught in college. It's not taught in fucking kindergarten or
But
grade
it
school.
should be.
Oh, yeah, I will be on Brags and Boards tomorrow night with Ace. And, I'm looking forward to the part hanging out with Ace. I won't lie, pretty stoked about hanging out with Ree.
Wow.
Pretty excited. I mean, if I had to rank it,
Wow.
Ace is 2, but Ree is 1. And I'm sorry, that's just
Well,
the
it's
way.
fine. You're my number 2 in life.
Oh.
Big fucking shit.
Miracle Man, did you all of a sudden just decide to become, Mark Millar? You didn't stick the landing.
So mean. That's just so mean. Anyway.
But it's from the heart.
There you go.
Rags and Boards, now starring Miracle Man.
Well, give me a minute.
It should be.
I would show up for that. So that's been our show. Philip, you get the final word. Where can people find you? And do you have any upcoming appearances or anything that you want to let the people know about?
Yeah, Kickstarter is still going on for 7 days. Matter goal. And any funds that's actually made past this point is going straight to paying the artist for Crackle Volume 3, which is starting production. For those that have stuck through this long conversation, I'll give you guys a tiny bit of exclusive. This morning, it was announced publicly that there's a small group of us creators that are getting together called the Phoenix Comic Collective, and today was, after months of prep, today was the first day we announced things. So, just everyone go out there. Our hashtag is PHXCMX for Phoenix Comics. It's on all the social medias. We have our website with what we're doing. We're doing things a little bit slowly. This was a soft launch today, but the idea is that we're going to be a good hub for indie creators, at least is some of the stuff I've talked about is I've had to learn by doing. I didn't have much resources. There wasn't a lot of condensed resources in one place we can go to. So a couple of us indie people got together and we tried to figure out what's the best way we can give back to our community. And so at this initial stage, we're going to do a lot of tutorials and like blog posts about specific things as far as like page size, like basic things for printers, shipping, like things that you need to really know that's nitty gritty and varied by the numbers. But as a comic creator, you can lose a lot of money if you don't realize some of these things. So if you've stuck out this long, you can they got the exclusive. Go look up Phoenix Comics Collective, social medias for abbreviation. Everything, like I said, is PHXCMX, and there's a lot of us great creators. I think Frankie's in it. You mentioned Frankie earlier with 25th. I think he might be part of it too.
Yeah, Frankie White.
Yeah. But this is fantastic. Thank you so much, guys.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. When you have the next volume out, we want to have you back on the show. I really, really did. And I do mean this from the bottom of my heart. I enjoyed Crackle 1 and 2. I enjoyed reading it. I didn't expect that I'd like it as much as I did. So I recommend everybody out there, if you haven't done it already, do check out that Kickstarter. The Kickstarter, I keep dropping it in the chat one more time. Otherwise, you can see it in the description within this video right now at the conclusion of watching us tonight. You can go and order that. It is a good read. You'll enjoy it. Put it on the coffee table. Others will enjoy it. You'll have a nice, good cry with your friends. It's worth it. Meanwhile, we're going to be back this coming Sunday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, July the 11th. We will be having Daniel Caliban. He will be discussing American Dreams. Next week on Wednesday, we'll be having another guest. Stay tuned. That will be announced because we kind of like keeping things a little close to the vest sometimes around here. So otherwise, the show, or rather the comic book show comic shop, why can I talk tonight? The comic shop I go to is Miami Fresh Comics. It's my LCS that I go to. I don't own it. I don't make money off of it, but he does a claim sale and auction every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Instagram. Check that out. Otherwise, we'll be back next week. So thank you all for tuning in. And, well, thank you very much. Philip, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Don't forget, everybody, Black Lives Matter, trans rights, and Helen fucking Mirren, because Ace needs to fuck Helen Mirren. Good night, everybody. Don't die. Rule 1. I mean,
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Oh, yeah?
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to see this episode again, along with a catalog of back episodes and issues, surf on over to Not Near Mint on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Rob Wurst, Lady Fantastic, Miracle Man, and Comics on the Mind will be back next week. Same time. Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Not Near Mint. Now come to Daddy.
Oh, yeah?